Hi, everyone. If you are watching this, we are kicking off National Bourbon Month with two very special guests. You may know them already, but I think we're ready. We are going to be joined by Paul, Wesley, and Ian Somerhalder. Hi, everyone. If you are watching this, we are kicking off National Bourbon Month. Hi, guys.
Hi. Yeah, we got to look there though. Hey, how's it going? We can't see you, but we can hear you.
Oh, can you?
No, it's not your fault. It's our fault.
Oh, I can see you, and
he's joking. We can see you.
We can see you, but you're
not,
over there.
It's not you. It's me.
Of course I did. No, I'm just kidding. So thank you so much for joining us. We are kicking off National Bourbon Month, and we are so excited that you guys are joining us. We have a lot of questions, and we're ready. Are you guys ready?
Absolutely.
Heck yeah.
Perfect. So first and foremost, I think a lot of us want to know how you two, we know how you met, but how did you become friends?
We were forced by a contract from Warner Brothers.
That's true. And then we did you think but all jokes aside, our friendship did quickly develop. We actually tried to get an apartment right next to each other. Next door to one another.
Well, no, season one, we went to Atlanta together to get an apartment next to each other because we wanted this bond had to be unbreakable. And so we wanted to be near each other. We knew that we had to rehearse even when we weren't shooting. And we actually got apartments literally a block from each other.
That's right.
And we lived together, or lived next to each other, and we rehearsed every single second we were on
apparently we weren't sick enough of one another because we started a bourbon brand together.
We spent 10 years, we spent 8 years on screen and then another 2 years running around the world. And then we decided to embark on another probably, 10-year endeavor, which is this company.
What were you thinking?
I wasn't. I was drunk.
Too much bourbon.
But it is really special because I think that, and I mean, I'm not trying to sell you on our bourbon, but I do think you're going to be hard pressed to find a bourbon, something that is this special, that has 11 years of IP built into it, right? Like that feeling of like a story and IP and nostalgia in a spirit. It doesn't happen,
So I have to ask, whose idea was it to create the bourbon?
Whose idea was it? I don't know
if
really,
it's just 10 years.
Yeah, 10 years of organic conversation.
We need to do this.
Yeah.
It
was really, exactly. But I don't think it was like one person's idea over the other necessarily.
We wanted to do this. We talked about this 10 years ago. The thing about it is that, in all humility, we were lead actors on a television show that was huge. So that's your whole life. You're talking 80, 100 hours a week. That's what you do. And this takes a tremendous amount of time and energy and commitment and focus. So we couldn't do it while we were shooting. Nick and I knew, and Paul, we talked about this ad nauseum. Paul and I knew that Nick and I knew that we would be having a baby.
You and I knew we were going to have a baby.
We were going to have a baby too. And we did have a baby. This is a baby. This is our baby.
Proud parents.
But we knew we did Planned Parenthood. This is it. We planned this. But we knew that Nick and I knew that we were going to have a child, and so we knew that we had a window. And Paul and I jumped on it and worked our asses off. And we were fortunate enough to have a CEO, Vincent Hanna, who built a team around us that is something that is, I don't know, it doesn't get any better,
So I know that you guys mentioned, how much you've enjoyed working with each other, and we briefly discussed it another time, and I did not know this story, but could you briefly touch on your logo and then just talk about your logo for a bit?
Yeah. You want to start, Paul?
Wait, where's the logo?
Here it is.
That logo?
Yeah, this logo.
This logo? Do you want to talk about it, Ian?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, you want me to talk about it? All right, so this logo actually isn't just a plain logo for, that's sort of arbitrary. This actually has a lot of meanings. First of all, that's me, and that's Ian. Very important. Okay, don't get it twisted. Secondly, so this is the oak tree. As we all know, bourbon is aged in oak, and this is the corn. We have the wheat. We have the rye. We have the barley. This is our entire mash bill. The boys are sitting under the tree. The brothers' bond is the anchor. That sort of I don't know, is their safety. And then you have the freedom of the birds flying. I mean, it's like,
and the boys also too, are getting to look down and have perspective with this incredible organic being protecting them, and there's just something so organic about it. Something gives you like a calm, organic, nostalgic perspective.
You know what I just realized?
Inspiration.
The boys, we're hanging out under the tree, but we're not looking at I think we're mad at each other in this.
No, not at all.
I'm just kidding.
We just had a great conversation, and now we're looking out and we're thinking about what our next steps are.
What's cool about it is we're like mirror images of one another, right? Like we're literally like a mirror image. The boys have their backs, they're rooted to one another, they're tied to one another, they have a bond. Like, all jokes aside, it actually is this kind of it's this label and this design that is actually very meaningful to both Ian and myself.
And also to consumers as well. People really are loving it. And again, I say that like it has this sort of like organic nostalgic inspiration. And I think at the end of the day, and Paul and I talk about this a lot, especially with Tess, our CMO, all you can hope to have in life, or to maybe give people or share with someone throughout your day, is to have inspiration, to have nostalgia, to have a sense of peace and belonging. And not to sound too cerebral about it, but that's what Brothers Bond is, right? The ethos of this company, and this is something you talk about a lot too, is to bring people together. And I think we can honestly say now, I think is probably a time where we need togetherness more than ever. And this is the company, this is the brand to do it.
You're speaking about, being together and, in general, needing togetherness. Do you have any fun stories while creating the bourbon, and which ones comes to mind? Also, when I'm sure that you guys had to do an extensive amount of tasting to find this is the one. Can you share a little bit about that as well?
Paul's always super humble when he talks about how much we blended this bourbon. This was over a year, every single day of our lives, breakfast, morning, noon, and night, blending hundreds of iterations of this. So we weren't going to compromise. And we knew we wanted immediate approachability right out of the bottle. And then we wanted nuance.
What we were chasing was a two-part sort of conquest. The first was, as Ian said, immediate approachability, so that someone like, who doesn't traditionally drink bourbon or dark spirit, they drink, they say, oh, well, I don't like bourbon because bourbon has this kind of, stereotype of being this kind of, old man sitting on his porch with a cigar, and that's just not really what it is. And so everyone who tastes our bourbon is immediately taken aback by how smooth it is and by how approachable it is, even neat or on the rocks. Yeah. But the other thing that we really wanted to accomplish is we wanted it to be complex enough for people who do drink bourbon, such as Ian and myself. Ian grew up in Louisiana. We shot the show in Atlanta. We drink bourbon nonstop when we do drink. And we have a very specific palate, and it needed to be complex enough for us. So that is not an easy feat, because it's two almost counterintuitive things that we managed to bring together into one mash bill, which is Brothers Bond, and we're so incredibly proud of it.
Yeah. You actually said that really well.
Eloquently.
Yeah.
It was very eloquent.
For being a simpleton.
By the way, being a simpleton is the best thing ever.
Any particular story that you can remember while creating the bourbon, or something like along the way while you were creating the bourbon?
I mean, there's a lot of them along the way, but one of the ones that stands out the most, and it might be a little embarrassing for Paul, but it's like cute. It's like a cute Paul moment. Paul's very like structured, like half is glass full. I'm very glass half empty.
I'm glass half empty.
Glass half empty. I'm glass half full. But we we meet in the middle, which is actually really great. And when we finally got this blend, which was over a year of morning, noon, and night, we tasted it and we went, and Paul very rarely gets really excited about something. And Paul drinks it and he goes, and he looks at me and he goes, "That's really good, man." He got almost like a scared little kid. And so we were like, all right, that's it. We'll come back in an hour. We'll try it. We'll go down to the barn. We'll try it. All right, tomorrow morning we get up. I know it sounds a little weird. Let's try it.
Tomorrow morning when I wake up first and roll over, I got to get out of bed.
You drink it first. You have your first sip.
No, it's true. I don't get very excited easily, and I am a pessimist by nature. So when we found this blend,
we were jumping around.
Yeah, it was like
you know what we were jumping. We were jumping around like a high school student who sees Stefan. Literally.
Reading the comments, by the way, I'm looking through the comments, and that was one of the first things that someone mentioned was the very first scene with Stefan. I just needed to point that out because
what did they say?
So I'm looking through the chat, and one of the first or one of the comments somewhere in there was someone's like, "Oh, this looks like the first scene watching Stefan," or like when
exactly.
You guys have the chat is blowing up. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask them there. We are going to try to get to some of your questions. On the meantime, I do want to ask, what is your favorite cocktail with each one of you? What would be your favorite cocktail using Brothers Bond?
For me, my favorite cocktail, what is this?
Fig.
Oh, right. It's a dried fig.
You smell him?
Yeah. He's always distracting me. See? If I went to high school with Ian and he was sitting next to me, I'd fail at everything. So what's my favorite cocktail? My favorite cocktail, I don't have a favorite Brothers Bond cocktail because they're all so good. But if I have to choose, I like more of a kind of, I'm like old school. I like old fashioned. So like a Brothers fashion. Yeah. Ian loves the Mystic Charmer. It's our signature cocktail. It's super refreshing.
Listen, I drink our bourbon on ice, period. I mean, I can drink it neat, especially when it's cold. I'll drink it neat all day, like in the winter, but we drink our bourbon on ice. But our drink strategy is such a comprehensive sort of seasonal. There's so much seasonality to our drink strategy. I mean, we have drinks like even the Bonfire that are mind-blowing, right? But
you're mind-blowing.
You're mind-blowing. I'm a mint julep guy because I grew up in the South. But I love the Mystic Charmer because we took bourbon and turned it into something that was so refreshing and sparkly and just kind of summery, and in a big format, right? It's in like a beer mug. But we also have one called Blood Brothers where you do a port floater that is incredible. The Bourbon Mule is super on point. I mean, these are all really exceptional.
And they're all on our website. So if you want to have some fun with our cocktails for those who are watching, or with our bourbon for those who are watching, you can go on our website and you can click on our cocktails, and boom, you'll have all the recipes.
Yeah, 100%. And also too, because we tried all this out, it also gives us something to do. Like you can have a bourbon night and do a specific cocktail, and crush it and perfect it. And it's super fun. So whether you're at the pool or you're in a dinner party and you're stuck inside because it's winter and it's 10 degrees outside, you can have such an amazing drink or cocktail experience, or just in its simplest form, just on ice or just neat. And that's why we work so hard on this. I mean, I know I sound like a broken record, but obviously, as you can't tell, we're super proud of our bourbon.
I did try the bourbon. I tried it. It's so good. So I'll be honest, I had it in a paper plane too, because that's my favorite cocktail.
I love that cocktail.
Paper planes are great.
I was nervous because of the rye, but it was amazing.
It balances out.
Can you touch a little bit on the tasting notes for those of us or the other people who have not tried it? I apologize. It's always nice to give them a little bit of the tasting notes and just what to expect when sipping on it.
Yep.
So when we're sitting here and we have all these, we have nuts, and we have figs, and we have oranges, and
we've got
banana bread,
figs, and walnuts.
Yeah, and this is all, even though it's pretty, it's not here just for decoration. It's because those are the tasting notes of our bourbon, right? So when you smell it, by the way, by picking it up, you literally got honey all over.
No, it was already there.
The table.
I just licked off the side.
Unbelievable, this guy. Got to call, housekeeping on him. Anyway, when you smell it, you can smell the aroma of banana bread and walnuts and oranges and fruit and spices. And so you can really, once you and as Ian says, you can go on that. He actually has a proper tasting.
Well,
there it is.
The thing about it is that you get, so when you start on the high side, up higher, you're going to get different aromas, right? You're going to get more like orange peel, maybe honeysuckle up here. You might even get a little bit of warm spice. But as you go down and get your nose closer to the glass, now you're going to pick up that really warm spice, baked banana bread. Literally, I mean, I know it looks so goofy, but this and this are identical. And that's what gives it that amazing aroma, right? And so you got some pretty incredible notes happening here. Even there's a lot of oak in that. But if you want to taste it, so, what we love about our tasting kits and these glasses is it really puts the aromas right into your nose, sort of keeps them together while still opening up the spirit. So you want to take a sip. I'm going to take a little sip from our Mystic Charmer. You take a sip. You're going to find it's exceptionally smooth. Also, too, just a note, remember, your first sip of bourbon is not going to be your best because you don't know what's on your tongue, right? You don't know what's on your palate.
You got to cleanse your palate.
It could be salt. It could be fruit. It could be anything. That second sip, you get what's called that equal sensory proportion. All of the grains are expressed over your palate, but in balance and harmony. I know everyone makes fun of me for saying that, but it does not sound like too kumbaya about it, but it literally is that.
It's velvety.
It is. And the texture, it's super, it's velvet.
Use your words.
I know, right? That's what I said.
There are a couple of questions coming in through the chat. So there's one that really stood out. Were you guys really drinking bourbon while filming?
Sometimes. Towards the end towards season 7 and 8. No, I mean, legally, obviously, that's illegal. It's not illegal. It's we were on set working, so no. I mean, but
we were
slip a little sip in once in a while.
An inordinate amount of time on the set of Vampire Diaries, and we lived it and we experienced it in every way, shape, and form. The funny part about the way these characters operated, Stefan and Damon was such a lush that Damon was drinking bourbon at 7:00 in the morning, and so we would be drinking this tea. And season 1, we couldn't figure out why we were so jittery, and we were just always
drinking iced tea, which looks like bourbon.
Black tea, right. Slightly diluted, but it's loaded with caffeine.
Hammered on caffeine.
Literally shaking at the end of the day.
Couldn't remember my lines.
And so that wasn't.
So anyway, caffeine. That's why his performance was the way it was, season 1.
There you go. Yeah.
I mean, he did pretty well for himself. Another question: if you could be sipping this this bourbon anywhere, where would you be sipping it?
You mean in the world?
Honestly, on the ocean, looking out into the ocean.
Paul and I always had this thing. We were, and not like in a combative or incendiary way, but we were always joking, sort of not joking, about how much we were disappointed in the ending of Vampire Diaries because we felt that the boys should not have had the chance to live. The town should have gone on and humans should have been okay. And the way that the boys should have done it is they're sitting on the beach, like in the Caribbean, and they're sitting in their little like short shorts.
Short shorts.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
And they have their rings on and they're there and the sun's coming up and they've just been drinking this like 80-year-old rum.
I would say bourbon.
And we're on an island in the middle of nowhere.
Bourbon.
Rum maybe in bourbon casks.
I would say bourbon.
Let's say bourbon. So we're drinking bourbon on a beach. And the sun's coming up and the boys look at each other because it's time, right? It's just too much, caused too much pain and suffering. And we look at each other and we have our last toast and they take off their rings, ding, and they throw them into the ocean. And then the next shot, and you hear, the next shot you see is like the lapping waves and then the little short shorts like going out into sea. That's what we thought.
Banana hammock.
That's what we thought the show should be. That clearly didn't happen. Stefan died, which is better.
Well, that's why you're going to do the spinoff.
Yeah. This is the spinoff. It's called the Brothers Bond.
No, I'm not in it. I'm dead.
No, I know. We just salute you.
Although, actually, come to
cheers
think
to
of it,
Stefan.
in the finale, you came at the end to wherever I was.
Because I was dead.
So that means you died too.
Yeah. So we're together.
Unless
locked.
I was imagining it.
No, we're locked in eternity, bro. But the thing about it is like...
He just said to me, we're locked in eternity, bro. Should I get that tattooed?
Right across your chest.
That'd be a good tattoo.
We're locked
But I do want to say one thing before we move on, just because there is a cool thing about this. Drinking pure spirit is tough for people. Paul and I, we all have a saying in our company, life kicks you in the teeth, your bourbon doesn't have to. So when you're sipping this stuff, get the nose, smell the nose. When you get it into your mouth, a small, not like a tiny sip, but a decent enough sip, give it some oxygen, give it some air, go like you're drinking wine. Really move it around in your mouth. And once you swallow, if there's too much heat, just blow it out. Now you can stick your tongue to the roof of your mouth and you're going to get all those flavors. And that's the one thing that like people are nervous about. Wow, bourbon's going to be strong. It's going to kick me in my teeth. This is a way out of that. And that's why we're so proud of it,
I really also think that people forget that you can make amazing cocktails using bourbon, some that you wouldn't even think have bourbon at all, because there's that perception that it's so strong. I wish that I could be tasting any cocktails, but will you be creating any cocktails tonight?
Yes.
Yes.
We're going to make a Mystic Charmer, which is our jam. And a lot of people drink the Mystic Charmer and they're blown away by, including my mother. And shall we make it right now?
Yeah.
That would be great, actually. And for everyone that is asking, you can buy Brothers Bourbon at ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. You can pick it up in store, order it online, have it delivered. So that would be, and you can also find these recipes on our site. Of course, you can also find them on Brothers Bourbon site as well. But just giving you guys a heads up, and we will also be posting all of the recipes on the comments as well, so you can follow along after.
Awesome.
That.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, sorry. Go ahead.
No, and then they can go ahead and create the cocktail at any time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, listen, honestly, this is, whether it's winter or summer, again, like Paul mentioned earlier in our conversation, this is a spin on bourbon that is light, effervescent, season. It doesn't matter what season it is.
You can have it in the summer on the beach.
Or you can have it sitting by the fire in the mountains, in the snow, because it's just refreshing, right? Yeah. So the idea is really getting this in front of people that actually maybe don't know bourbon, but it really livens this bourbon up, right? So,
all right, so shall we?
Yep. So we're going to...
Go ahead.
So I'm just going to load these guys with ice really quickly.
So you do 1.5. You start with 1.5 ounces of Brothers Bond. Okay. So this is actually 1 ounce. This is 2 ounces. So we do. I guess we can do this and then a half, right?
Yeah. So we'll do 1.5 ounce.
This is 1.5. This is 1.5. Oh,
yep.
yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I'm an idiot.
So By the way, I'm not like trying to sell you guys on our products, but we created all these amazing products that are like our color and our.
It's in our merchandise store on our website.
It's just awesome.
It's really sick.
It's like
great gifts.
What a dream!
By the way, it with you.
Dream. Yeah, you do yours and I'll do mine, dog. 1.5 ounces of Brothers Bond. Right. Ice. You got your ice?
Where's your
Huh?
Where's your what's in this? What's in this guy?
That's your bourbon.
Oh,
that's your brother's fashion. Yeah, baby.
That's set up for my brother's fashion.
Yeah, boy.
All right, so you do the Mystic Charmer, I do the brother's fashion. Okay. All right, we're all gonna watch you.
All right.
I'm a little jealous. I'm not gonna lie.
Here we go.
To make a Mystic Charmer.
So we got 1.5 ounces of bourbon. Now, obviously, as you go for multiple people, you're gonna multiply that times 1.5 ounces. We've got 0.5 ounces of lemon juice.
Nailed
Voila. Crush it. 1.5 ounces of honey syrup. Now, here's the thing. Honey syrup, people say, like, I don't want to take the extra
0.5
step.
ounces, not 1.5. 0.5.
0.5. Honey syrup makes a big difference. It's so easy to do. It's equal parts water, equal parts honey. Warm it, turn it into this amazing syrup. It makes your drink incredible. So we have 0.5 ounces of that. Now, the great thing. What?
Shake it up.
Yeah. I'm going to shake it, give it like 10, 15 seconds. This is our brother's
He's really
Bond.
good at shaking. Look at those biceps. Unbelievable. This guy should have his own cocktail show.
I thought I did.
New idea.
So here's what we're going to do. We're going to pour this over fresh ice.
Are you making me one too?
If you're nice. Pour this over fresh ice. Because I had already put a shot and a half in here. So I want you to try it.
Really?
Yeah. You are my brother. So we're going to put this over fresh ice.
Bro pep.
And then we're just going to top with ginger ale. This thing can explode sometimes.
Really?
We're going to top this with ginger ale.
There it is.
I mean, this is crazy.
Oh, and then you got to get the lemon.
We're going to go. My hands are clean, buddy. Don't worry. So I like to, you can do this. Actually, we'll just go ahead and do that because we have the lemon in there. Sometimes I like to squeeze it. Now, check this out. Now, this is a beautiful cocktail. Grab that. That is so refreshing and amazing. Cheers, brother.
Cheers, buddy. Misread that.
Cheers, everyone.
Oh, I will definitely be making that cocktail at some point this weekend.
Good job.
Thank you. Never heard that from you before. He's never said that before.
That's the Mystic Charmer.
There's a time for everything, and I'm glad that was set today of all days. Do we have a second cocktail as well?
Yes, we do. So we're making the Brothers Fashions. Okay. Now, I guess I'm making the Brothers Fashion. So it's 1.5 ounces of Brothers Bond, which is, I think, what I have in here, mixed with 0.5 ounces of Amaro, 1/4 of an ounce of simple syrup, 2 dashes of Angostura bitters. All right. Now, I believe I just don't understand what's in here already pre-mixed. I think it's everything. Extra? Oh my God.
Oh, that one's for me.
Yeah. All right. So that means I need your shaker.
No, here, this is yours. 1.5 ounces of Brothers Bond.
Yeah, but I got to mix it. Ooh. Oh, it's extra.
Yeah, dog.
Oh. All right. Got it. All right.
Yep.
So 1.5 ounces of 0.5 Amaro. Wait, where's that? There it is.
Yeah. Let me smell this.
Yeah, smell it.
It's so aromatic, man.
All right. And then 0.25 simple syrup. This is my favorite cocktail. 2 dashes of the bitters, which I believe. Oh, there they are.
Can I do the bitters?
Yeah, do it.
Because sometimes.
This is my favorite right here.
2.
The orange peel?
Yep.
All right. Then you.
Don't get mad at me. I always twist it.
You want to twist it?
I'll do it.
No, we do it when we pour it on the cocktail. Okay. Wait, where's the glasses? Oh, here they are. All right, you ready for this?
Yeah, buddy.
Help me out here. You got the jigger.
You know, I got to tell you, I just used all of our ice.
Is it all gone?
There we go.
Oh, there we go.
Crushed it.
No, but I think that's a big one.
Yeah, that's what we need.
All right, so we take this.
Voila. I love this. Oh, man. We've had so many of these.
Ready for this?
Perfecting this cocktail was such a fun endeavor.
Right. So then you pour this in.
That's yours right there.
Huh?
That's yours.
That's my old one.
Oh, this is?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I wanted this ice for. Well, I wanted them to see the big ice.
All right, fine.
Yes. All right. So I usually go a little crazy with this
because
when
he's so excited, it's his favorite thing in the
well,
world.
because you want to extract all the oil and the oil from these peels. Get it in there.
He loves twisting the orange.
I do because it makes it
it's like
open.
a little kid on Christmas.
I know, right? So a brother's fashion is really just a take on like a traditional old fashioned, really yummy. Cheers, brother. It's amazing times with this one drinking these.
I am so jealous right now, along with the rest of the chat. So
how good is it?
It's so damn good.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was that?
No, the chat is going crazy. Everyone is 100% jealous, and they wish they were drinking with you guys and tasting
Get in here.
the cocktail. I know it would be such a great time. Something that was brought up too during the chat. Can you talk about the charitable efforts that the brand is currently helping with?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, listen, Paul and I spend a lot of our time, particularly with our team, ideating. Listen, not to bring this into the fold, but my family, I was up till 5 o'clock this morning worried about my family because of Ida. And one of the things about storms that I know is that they're going to continue to get bigger and bigger and bigger as climate change progresses, right? So for us as a company, one of our biggest things that we're passionate about is figuring out a way to balance our climate. By virtue of the fact that we are an agricultural company, right? Corn, wheat, barley, rye. We have immense power to utilize regenerative agriculture and grain for our products. Fortunately for me and for us, I was able to executive produce a film called Kiss the Ground. It's on Netflix right now. If you haven't been able to see it, please see it. It will shine not a floodlight on what we're doing, but a spotlight. And we know that regenerative agriculture can stop climate change in its tracks, literally put it in its rearview mirror. People say, well, what the heck is regenerative ag? Regenerative agriculture, and this is something we're really proud of, is the use of planned grazing methods and growing living plants at scale, agriculture, to sequester enormous amounts of carbon dioxide and store it safely in the ground where it belongs.
And we have a video as well that we can play.
Yeah. Let's roll the video.
If you guys have time, we'd love to. It's super quick, but it encompasses everything.
Yeah.
Very
Can we
nicely.
roll it?
Regenerative agriculture is truly the greatest fight of our time, because we know that there are about 60 harvests left, meaning there's about enough healthy soil for 60 years. We're facing a great number of problems in this area because as we degrade our soil through industrial agriculture, we strip away its ability to give us healthy, nutritional food and support an ecosystem for future generations. The science is quite scary when you look at it, but it's not all doom and gloom. You see, we have what is called the legacy load of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. So ultimately, you could take every car off the road and climate change would still happen at an alarming rate. Regenerative agriculture has this incredible ability as our only solution to actually draw down that carbon and rebalance our climate. Regenerative agriculture is the use of planned grazing methods and using living, growing plants at scale, feeding all the vital microorganisms that make soil healthy and allow it to grow wonderful food for us and revitalize fresh water supplies while sequestering carbon and producing oxygen. The incredible role that Brothers Bond can play is that we have the ability to grow amazing amounts of grain, and Brothers Bond will lead the spirits industry and work very hard to become the first truly regenerative spirits company the world has ever seen. And not just being carbon neutral, but carbon negative, sequestering immensely more carbon than we could ever produce. We aim to build out, as a company, the largest regenerative supply chain in the world. And hopefully, it actually can inspire other companies to do the same.
Wow.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful. It was very inspiring. And thank you so much for sharing. I know that we are getting to the end of our Facebook Live. I really wanted to thank both of you for being here. And before we go, any future plans for Brothers Bond?
Yeah, a lot. I mean, this is our baby. This is, Ian, you explained it really well. Anything we do in terms of age statements,
or line extensions.
Line extensions, it's all going to have the DNA of this mash bill that Ian and I worked really hard to create. But of course, we have some plans, right?
We have plans. I mean, listen, obviously, and this is something we don't talk about in public ever. Actually, Tess would probably kill us, but we're looking at properties. We want to build a distillery, but we also have a distillery that is our grounding, right? It's like where we are. We know that regenerative agriculture is going to be our future. We have age statements and line extensions and things that we're putting our heart and soul into to bring to you. We have the Brothers Bond, bonded in bond bourbon.
Bottled in bond.
Bottled in bond, 100 proof bourbon of this. We have our cask strength bourbon. I mean, these are things that are exceptional spirits, right? That they're not, we might joke with each other all the time and say we're sort of like two-bit actors in some, TV show. But we have built a very substantial and amazing company here. And what we plan to do in the future in the sense of regeneration and line extensions and what we're bringing to market is really special and not been really done before. So we're excited to share that very soon. And we invite you to please participate. And if stronger versions of this are not something you like, I guarantee you some people in your life will. But the 8-year program that we have, is pretty special, right? 8 years is a really amazing time for bourbon.
And we were on screen for 8 years as brothers. So that's sort of the symbolism behind it.
1 year in the barrel for every year we were on air.
Yeah.
So it's pretty special.
Hopefully you guys will be able to check out some of those line extensions, etc.
There's a lot. There's no stone unturned with us. And as you can see, we've built out an entire virtual studio to bring to you because we want to share this with you so desperately, and we wish we could be with you more, and we will be as things start to clear up. But we've literally built an entire digital studio just to be able to speak to you at great expense and great amounts of energy to us and our team. So it means a lot that you're here with us. And ABC, we're so grateful for you and your support and your partnership. So we are all pistons firing, and we cannot wait to show you what's coming down the innovation pipeline for sure.
Thank you both so much. Thank you I think you answered a lot of the questions that were also coming through. Again, if you want to try the bourbon, you can find it at ABC, order it online, pick up in store, whichever is the easiest for you. Ian, Paul, thank you for your time. We hope that you guys stay safe. We really do look forward to seeing you in stores, hopefully in the very near future. Have a great night, and I am ready to sip my bourbon. And
thank you so much.
Have a great evening, everyone.
Thank
you.
For your time.
Watching to celebrate National Bourbon Month, we will be having other brands that you can also sample along the way and join our Facebook Live as well. Have a good one,
guys. Thank you.
Cheers, everyone.
Thank you, Ian. Thank you, Paul.